Ladies and gentlemen, today is September 16th, 2013, and this is the KNKL Daily, number 93. I am your host, Kienan Lafferty, and today is Emma Monday, where we jump into working on our beloved comic, Emma, and you get to join me live and watch me work my butt off. So let's go ahead and jump into that, shall we? That was a lovely face that I made right before I switched it. Alright, so yeah, for those of you who saw the teaser on Facebooks, you would know that we are beginning production of issue 3. Right, I know you guys have been waiting very patiently, and I think it's high time I start showing you some of the work that I've been doing via some of the sketches that I've laid down. So you can see there's Emma and Nico on the bottom panel, and it's just kind of like some establishing shots that are bringing us into issue 3, because this is something that I didn't do as much of in issue 2, and I did a lot of in issue 1. And it was just like this feeling of like these cinematic shots to just open the issue that I really didn't want to lose. It was one of the original visions that I had for Emma. So we're going to go ahead and jump back into that. Okie dokie then. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to take these sketches here. We're going to lighten them up a little bit, and we've got our trademark blue pencil that we're going to be working with today, and I'm going to be working on this panel today, this lovely panel with Nico and Emma in their little motorcycle madness. Alright, so I hope that you guys had a good weekend, and I'm glad to have you back. Some interesting things have happened today. Let me first start off by saying that I decided to go wash my dog today, and it was very fun. For those of you who don't know, I have a dog named Charlie, and he is very precious. He's big and fat, like a bear, and he's getting pretty old. And he's a little smelly too, so today I decided to pamper him. I brushed him. Me and my brother, we both brushed enough hair off of him to like fill one of those giant sacks that you get from the grocery store, or just, you know, like a regular plastic bag. It was literally just full of his hair. Like enough to make another dog, basically. And so we did that. That was a lot of fun. And then we took him down to the local U-Wash doggy. It's a self-washing doggy station. You just kind of drop them in the tub, and then they have like the little hose, and you know, someone's over on the switchboard like working, you know, what you're putting out in the little hose, like whether it's like oatmeal shampoo or doggy shampoo, conditioner. And we gave him the whole treatment, and I think he enjoyed it very much. So yeah, last time we did it, he didn't really like it that much, but I think it's because this time he loves string cheese, so we brought him some string cheese and we made sure to feed him plenty of that whilst we were washing him, and he behaved himself for the most part. So that was a lot of fun. And yeah, we're gonna start off with Emma-san. Okay. So, like I said before, guys, one of the things that I think is really important with these sketches, right, is look at this face, right? Look at that face right there. And a challenge that I'm going to have going forward with this is making sure that the face that I lay down reflects the same emotion that the simplified face is. Because it's very interesting, and this is something that I'm still trying to understand why this happens, is you can create a more like pure form of an expression when it's just simply eyes like this, right, and then a mouth, right? The expression can be so much more pure, like you can see it, and I don't know exactly why that is, but when I go in and like add in all the details and everything, sometimes I'll look back on the original drawing and I'll be like, oh, it's not the same. It's not the same emotion that I had before, right? So when that happens, I must go back and ask myself why that happened. So, alright, so the first thing we're going to be doing here is we've just laid out the middle of the head here, and then just below that is where her eyes normally sit, but she is going to have them opened like this. And we're going to go ahead and drop in Emma's facial features. Okay, dokie. In fact, one of the things I got to do first is duplicate this thing. Alright. So let's lay in the facial features after we get the midpoint all set up and all that good jazz. Let's go ahead and see if we can kind of lay this in and make sure that we are retaining the character. and I just turned on the freaking AC, and it's already getting hot in here. I can feel it. I'm starting to sweat. I'm starting to sweat, and this is a scary thing. This is a scary thing because I literally just ran the AC and turned the entire temperature of the house down to 73 degrees. I'm still getting hot. Why is this? Why is this? Alright. Someone's saying there's sawdust and string cheese. Maybe, oh, Charlie also enjoys sawdust very much. He loves it. Just licks it up. Just licks it up. Alright, so, yeah. There's a couple strategies that I use to like draw faces in like this. And one of them is that I'll actually just go back in and erase the old one, right? So it doesn't distract me from what I'm trying to draw. Because I can see as I'm doing this, it's already starting to look a little bit wonky, you know, because her nose is supposed to be kind of down here. Like her nose is a little bit where, it's like almost where her mouth is. And if I lay it down right there, it's going to look really weird. But let's see if we can figure this out together. Let's figure it out together. And also her chin does not stick out that far. I liked it in the drawing, but it doesn't work here. So let's, yeah, actually I like the way it looks here now. Yeah, it was just the chin. The chin needed to come back a little bit. Lovely! Lovely! Okay, so another halfway down the circle, that is where the bottom of the eye is going to be. So our eye is going to be right there. Bottoms of the eyes there. And something I want to share with you guys that kind of occurred to me over this last week was a lot of people have been asking me great questions. Like they've been sending me messages on YouTube and just about how, oh, well, I want to make my own comic, but where do you start? And all these, you know, things like trying to get advice on how to start your own thing like this. And one of the biggest things that I realized that I kind of forgot that was an original like motivating factor for Emma was that I'm doing this to make mistakes, right? I'm making this comic so that way I can make all the mistakes now and I can take the experiences of that into my next comic and make it even better. So, but I had forgotten about that. I forgot that that was my mentality going into it. And so what's happened is I've kind of caught myself getting stuck in, oh, well, does that look good? Is that perfect, right? And really, it's okay if it looks bad. It's okay if there's certain panels or, you know, if I don't know how to draw motorcycles or whatever. It's okay to suck at those things at the beginning. And I want to stress this because I realized that, you know, it's almost like no matter what comic you're doing, you should always have that mentality. Whether I was doing Emma or, you know, the future comic that I wanted to make sure everything was perfect for. I should still have that mentality of it doesn't have to look perfect. It doesn't have to, you know, have all these things, you know, everything doesn't have to line up perfectly. And once you do that, I've noticed, not only do you actually get started on it, but then you kind of just like let go of all the insecurities that come with making a comic, right? Like wanting it to be perfect. And this was something that I had forgotten about, and I had to remind myself, yes, this is what Emma was supposed to be. Oh, actually, you know what? Speaking of that, Emma is not supposed to be big-eyed here. She's not supposed to be big-eyed here. Alright, this is the point where I'm going to go ahead and start erasing the face because I like what we're getting here. So I'm going to erase this so it doesn't distract me from what we're trying to get here. She's supposed to be kind of more ticked off at this point. So yeah, let's fix those eyebrows as well. She's supposed to be just like, Yeah, I like it when Emma has eyes like this. I like it when she has her small eyes. Lovely. It makes me oh so happy. Another thing that I realized was when I was drawing the cards for the local Comic-Con that I just got back from, I started experimenting with a little bit more of like a, I don't know, I was messing around more with the style. And I realized that there were some things that I really liked about just like simplifying the style even more and almost just like refining it. Does that make sense? Like I was drawing these cards and I'm like, oh hey, this is kind of nice. Like I want to bring this into Emma. I want to bring this in. Like just the subtle things that I do with the eyes, or like the side of the face, how it, like it's completely rounded like that, and then it just goes like that into the chin. Like I was doing that a lot on the cards that I was drawing. And for those of you who want to see those cards, just go back a few days if you're watching on YouTube, and you can see me drawing those, working in physical media. And I said, man, this is really cool. I bet I could take this into Emma and make it look even better than it already does. So I decided to do that, and it worked well. Okay, so that looks good. Looks really good. Let's just go ahead and double check Emma's face, make sure these things are lining up. I feel like her facial features are just a little bit too high. We're probably going to have to use the magic crutch of Photoshop, the lasso tool, to go ahead and lasso that entire face. Let's move it on down, because the halfway point was there, so her eyes should be more like right there. Yeah, that's better, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's flip the canvas. Maybe there's another alternative that we can be doing here. And I'll just worry about it in a second. I'm just gonna go ahead and flip the canvas. Let's finish up this hair. I really like the shape that this hair makes. So we're just gonna run with that. Run with that. Oh, and also her eyes need to be open a little bit more. Her eyes need to be opened just a tad bit more. And this should be going like that. What's bothering me about these eyes? Maybe it's the eyebrow. Let us consult the old drawing. Okay, so that one looks a little bit more concerned, but I think I forgot that she was supposed to be ticked off at this point, so that has to change a little bit. Maybe she can be more like this. That looks a little bit more quizzical? Whatever. And that nose definitely has to get dropped down. Maybe that's what it was. It's just the nose and the mouth. They're too high. You guys are talking over here about funny stuff. Discussing Emma's visions. You know what? You know what? Oh, that looks good there. Looks really good there. Okay, so I'm just comparing these two faces. I've got the references of Emma over here too, because the biggest thing that I always talk about is consistency. So make sure your characters are consistent. So, but those proportions change a little bit when you're looking at a character, you know, underneath, you know, from the chin as opposed to down. So I'm just trying to make sure that it looks cool. Like I'm trying to trust my gut with what looks nice. But at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm being consistent with Emma and who she is. I just need to have her looking a little bit more over to the side. I think that's it. Yep. Yep. Love it. That's good. That's totally Emma. It's totally Emma. Okay. Let's go ahead and drop that down a little bit there. And let's draw in the edge of our side card. The edge of our side card, which we have grown to love. And I drew it a little bit wrong in this depiction here, because the seat is supposed to come up like that. Let's see, let's make sure the perspective is going sort of right, at least, right? Enough so we can cheat it. You know. You know. All that good stuff. all that good stuff. And I think we're going to have to increase the size of Emma just a tad bit. Yes. There we go. Now let's go ahead and just draw in the rest of Emma really quickly. She does have her hands tied behind her back at this point. So let's make sure we are depicting that in the proper ways. Good. Good. Why is that looking weird to me? Her dress. There we go. There we go. Right, it needs to come back like this because that shoulder is kind of pushed forward like that. I don't know. Whatever. Let's just move on. Let's get the other edge of this. I am not in the camera. I knew something was off. That was why I was adjusting it earlier. Alright, let's go ahead and get this window pane looking proper. In fact, since it's like this, we're going to have to, again, bring this up a little bit because the window pane comes up like that. It's up like that, and then it'll drop down. Lovely! Cheating perspective, left and right. Cheating it. I just love cheating. Cheating perspective. How naughty. How naughty of me. Don't tell. Don't tell. Alright. Yeah, that's looking pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. Yeah, I like that. Alright, it's time for some Nico action. Nico action up in here. I'm going to make that look a little bit more like that. That looks a little bit better. Okay, flip it around. And let's draw some Nico. Oh, that looks great. It's actually a really good Emma. Love it! Now, for when I draw multiple characters, especially when they are overlapping each other, please do yourself a favor and create them on a separate layer, because the worst thing that you could ever do is this. I'll show you. Watch. Okay, so let's say I'm drawing Nico back here, okay? He's like, hey, like this. He's all happy, and he's, you know, he's super excited because he's got Emma in his cart, and he likes it, right? And then you're like, oh, oops. Oh, okay, well, let me just go back and erase it. Oh, no, I should have been smart and put that on another layer. So that's why you do it. That is why you do it. So that way when you make the mistake, right, and you're drawing all back here, and you're like, okay, that looks really bad, and go back and erase it. And no harm done. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Let's go ahead and pull up Nico. I need Nico's references. Oh, shoot. Alright, I thought I had them on the desktop, but we'll just have to do this. Bonus content, Nico. I will copy it over there, so that way this does not happen again. And there you go. There's our Nico references. Let's go ahead and move into drawing him. And for those of you who would like to see more concept art and stuff like that goes into it, you can get it by ordering your own digital collector's edition of the issue, available on the Emma Comic Online site at the store. All that good stuff. A lot of people don't know I have a store, so I'm just telling everybody. I'm just beating them over the head with it. Be like, hey, I have a store. You can buy stuff. And I'm going to have a lot more cool things coming in, too. I may have just secured, after Comic-Con, I may have made a contact with somebody who could help me make some more merchandise for Emma. So, stay tuned for that. Alright, so the thing that I really like about this, what's going on here, is I really like the way that Nico's, I like Nico's posture, right? Because his arm is coming up like this, and then you got his little folded sleeve thing going on right here. This just looks really good. I really like this a lot. So his nose is going to come up like that. And he's wearing his goggles, right? We haven't seen Nico wear his goggles yet. Now he's wearing his goggles, and he looks really cool. All right, so let's go ahead and, yeah, his mouth is going to be like this. This is going to be maybe not like that. Yeah, that looks good. 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 All right, and his goggles. Goggles. Did I draw his goggles? Okay, I did. Good. He's got like Timo goggles going on. He's got like squared off Timo goggles. They're pretty sweet. In case you didn't notice. Alright, let's go ahead and draw that back. Oh, and his hair, of course. Let's not forget his cool hair. Yeah. I actually kind of like the way that his ear is showing here. Maybe I can make that happen. And I can just push his hair back. Like his ear is showing here. And then his hair would have to be... actually, you know what? I can do this. Because his hair comes down like that. So I could just do that. Brilliant! Oh, but he's wearing his helmet. So we're not even going to see his ear anyway. Dang it! Dang it! I hate it when you have to be consistent. Sometimes. Alright, let's get his helmet on there. Nico's helmet comes up like that. Goes right over like that. And it does have a spike on it, which I am very saddened that we will not be able to see. We will not be able to see the spike. The gloriousness of it. But we will see a little bit of his hair there. And that is good. That is very good. Okay, let's make sure we throw in his awesome bandana. Awesome bandana. I'm probably going to have to change it a little bit because it's coming from there now. But that is okay. Because here on the KNKL show, I think that's one of the biggest things that I notice is if you need to exaggerate something to make it look cool, I think in some cases, you know, it's my comic, I can do what I want. And it's like, yeah, maybe Nico's bandana isn't that long. Usually it's kind of like in a bunched up, kind of like a Z shape. So I guess this is what it looks like when it's kind of stretched out. And you know what? I like it. So we're going to run with that. Alrighty then. Ooh. I kind of like that open space there for between him and Emma. So maybe I'll do one of these things. Aha! Brilliant! That works. It works. It works. It works. Okay. Do I want a little bit of hair coming down? No. No. I'm just trying to figure it out. Memorable silhouettes. Memorable silhouettes. That's what people are saying. Yes, I do want to make sure my characters have memorable silhouettes. It's very important. Very important. Alright, so yeah, I'm just really digging the whole like posture that he's got going on here. And here he'll be holding on to the handlebars. Let's draw those in really quick. I do have the reference of his bike. Those of you who do want to see what I based Nico's bike off of, I will show you. I will show you. It's actually like a BMW. It's a bike by BMW, and I don't know much about bikes, but I just saw it and I was like, yeah, I could see him riding that thing. Where is it? Here it is. So yeah, this is what I based Nico's bike off of. It appears to be a BMW R60. So yeah, it's pretty sweet. And I just slapped a sidecar on it, and there you go. There you go. These probably don't even come with sidecars, but I just like the way it looked, like the full kind of matte black finish on it. And it looked kind of stumpy and like something that, you know, Nico would ride. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and just draw these in. Draw in them good old, the good old stuff there. Let's have his fingers going on there. And why is that looking weird to me? Needs to be skinnier. Needs to be a little bit skinnier. Oh! That's looking good. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Alrighty then. So we gotta bring that on down. Let's bring these down here, and let's put the headlight out. As such, one of the things that I promised myself I was going to do after I finished the cover for issue 2, I put some extra detail into the bikes, and I was like, you know, it's actually not that much harder to put the detail into these bikes and make them look really awesome. So for this issue, I decided I was really going to just kind of bite the bullet and be like, alright, I'm going to put some awesome detail into these. I'm going to put more detail into them. I wouldn't call it necessarily awesome. You might think it's awesome, but I'm just putting a little bit more love into the motorbikes in this one. So I hope that you guys will appreciate that. Hoping you guys will enjoy that. Alright, so let's go ahead and just get this thing done. We gotta get this tank in here. Not tank, the gas tank. Nico's gas tank. Okay, get that looking good. Let's go ahead and just drop this thing down like that. It look good. It look very good. Very good. Something about this is looking a little bit weird. I'm probably gonna have to mess around with these things over here. But again, not worrying too much either. Not worrying too much about the bikes, right? Because the comic book isn't necessarily about the motorcycles. It's about the characters. Okay? Okay. So yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit more flavor in there for you. And guys, we've been going for about 30 minutes, so at this time I'm going to ask for questions, any questions that you may have. I know you're having just a grand old time over here. What are you guys talking about? Uh-oh. Is everything okay? Can you guys hear me? You guys are saying all kinds of crazy things over here. Oh, I think you might be talking to somebody else. Okay, don't scare me like that. Jeez. Scaring me like that? Okay, we need to move this back immediately because that arm might be a little bit too long. Or was it? Yeah, it was a little long. Okay. So one of the things I'm noticing that I need to do is I really need to move this headlight further out. It's just not going to work there. Where it needs to go is right here. It needs to go right there. That way this can pop off of there and then go back like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah! Brilliant. Brilliant. And then this part goes... Oh, actually, that looks like crap. What have I done? What have I done? I liked it better the other way. Yeah, because again, I'm not trying to do the exact likeness of the bike because I don't want to get freaking sued by BMW. But just base it off of that. So yeah, let's do that. So let's stick with that. Stick with that. All right. So the other handlebar is going to be up here. Let's go ahead and do that. It's good. I just like this arrow design, how it just kind of comes out and goes like that. Looks really cool. So that's what we're going with. Not trying to get sued by BMW. Thank you. Thank you. I just couldn't believe he would use our bike's likeness like that. Alright, so that looks good. Spending way too much time on this bike. But again, I told myself I would accept the challenge. I would accept the challenge and go for it. Yeah, Nico's looking so cool up in here. And I'm actually going to probably, let's see, what's a very simple way that I could get this to work? Okay, so his legs are probably going to be like right about there, yeah. So the seat is going to be like that, comes down, so we'll have a little opening right there. That'll be nice. That'll be really nice. Very nice. And let's go ahead and get his legs in there. Because we want Nico, our good friend Nico, to have legs. He would really appreciate that, I'm sure. Cool! That looks good. Oh, and let's not forget his signature collar! His popped collar. I can't believe I almost forgot that. It's been too long. Too long. Okay, so we got that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now it's Nico. Wait. Hang on. How did it look before? Oh, I didn't even draw it in. Or did I? No, I didn't. How dare I? How dare I forget my own character? That is just unacceptable. Unacceptable. Okay, cool. He's looking great. Nico is looking awesome. Let's make sure we're drawing his signature costume properly. And all that good stuff. Let me make sure I'm not missing any questions over here. Oh, people asking for Lovely Lane. Yes, we haven't done Lovely Lane in a while because I haven't gotten any new submissions. You need to submit your artwork. Oh, actually, we do have one. We did get one new one on Emma, so I will show that on Wednesday. But usually Lovely Lane is on Tuesday for tutorials. So yes, please continue submitting your stuff. Oh, Unreal Pie is asking a great question. He's asking, when I'm concepting the characters, what are 3 of the most important things that I like to keep in mind? And that is actually a very good question. One of the biggest things, someone touched on it earlier, is memorable and easily recognizable silhouettes. So when I was concepting Nico, you can see here, I knew that he kind of has a very similar, he's got a very similar like head shape to Emma and like all the other, characters, right? Or like kid characters, which is just him and Emma. Okay, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay, so he's got the same face, okay? So he got the spiky hair and all that good stuff, but I really wanted something to be recognized from really far away. If he was just like a little stick figure and there was just like one detail that you could draw on Nico, it would be these little bandana things that stick off the back of his head. And I really liked that, and that worked really, really well for me. And so those are really important things to do. If you're going to be doing an animated style or just like a comic sequential art, I cannot stress this enough, that you need to come up with a simplistic style. Simplify your characters, right? Because you're going to be drawing them over and over and over and over again. And if you have like this person where you draw out every single little strand of hair in their head, and there's just like some, I don't know, furry creature, and you have to draw every single strand of fur, paint it, you're going to lose your mind. So this really helps out a lot. So please do that. And then number 3, I think a good thing to do is just understand who your character is. Like, what is their personality and what are they going to say? Because you'd be surprised at how much that comes into play. Like making sure that your characters are consistent, not just with the way that they look, but the way that they act. Because the last thing you want to do is have your character say something and then later you look back on it and you're like, I don't think they would have said it like that. Or have your reader say that. And that has already happened with Emma. There's a couple of things that some of the characters have said, and I'm like, they probably would have said it a little bit differently. And I do plan to go back and edit that. But for now, we're making our mistakes. We're making our mistakes now, and we are pushing onward. We're pushing onward, and there's always plenty of time to go back and fix those errors. Errors in judgment. Alrighty, peoples. So I'm actually really liking this. This is going to work out really well. I like it very much. I'm going to take one more question, and then I'm going to end day 93 of the KNKL show. So let's see. Oh! Someone's asking, have I read Creating Comics by Scott McCloud? Yes! In fact, I'm reading Reinventing Comics right now by Scott McCloud. For those of you who haven't checked out this series, go to your Barnes & Noble and please have a look at this book, or these books by Scott McCloud. He does Reinventing Comics, Making Comics, and Understanding Comics. And these are probably like 3 of the not only the funnest books that I've read, but the most inspirational and educational books you will ever read on the subject. and he's just so good at like explaining everything. Reinventing Comics seems to be kind of geared more towards web comics and like creating a business of your own. So I'd probably save that one for last. This one that I'm reading right now. This is when you get serious. When you get serious, read this one. The other two are, however, much more easy to jump into. So yes. With all that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say goodbye. We're going to sign off. Thank you once again to everyone joining me live on Twitch. For those of you on YouTube, thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. I'll see you tomorrow for Tutorial Tuesday. Until then, you guys take care.